So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy to be able to welcome so many of you here. My name is Nick Beglinger. I am the CEO of the Cleantech 21 Foundation, and I'm the initiator of Hack4Climate. Thank you, guys. The way this evening program works is that I'm going to give you a very quick information about what Hack4Climate is all about. And then it's time for those who actually hacked in Hack4Climate. You have here the 5 winning teams, and we're going to hear from each of those winning teams a 5-minute pitch with a little bit of questions afterwards. I'm going to moderate, and you'll see for yourself why climate needs blockchain. So, that's our program. Let me start quickly by saying what Hack4Climate is. We have, in the run-up of COP23 in September, run 17 regional workshops to address 1,300 blockchain developers. We have then promoted a hackathon to take place parallel to COP23 here in Bonn. We have received 500 web applications of high quality, and we've been able to select the 100 very best of those. Some of them you see sitting here with us. They represent a very talented group of people coming from 33 different countries, including Fiji, including Suriname, including Switzerland, and a whole lot of others. They're from 6 continents, and we're all together on one hacker boat. We call it the Fiji, and it was mooring outside the conference here for the last 5 days. We've chosen to do so for logistical reasons, and we've also chosen to be on the Fiji because we want to make a statement. And the statement is that climate needs blockchain, because if we apply blockchain technology well, we can increase climate action. We can go further, faster, and more together. And that's exactly why we Hack4Climate as well. So think about what the world is going through. We're seeing a development from central systems to decentral systems. And as part of this development, distributed ledger technologies, or commonly referred to as blockchain, have a huge innovation role to play. If you go distributed, it means not only you have a new set of innovation coming, but it also means that regulation has to adapt to this new set of innovation. That's why we hacked here at COP23 to make a statement towards the regulators that we need regulation to be aware of what's coming with distributed ledger technologies. Now, I have said enough theoretical stuff and would like to now hand over to the first team who shows you what has been developed in a 24-hour hack session. That's a 24-hour session only, with a bit of preparation at the beginning in the first 3 days of our hack, and a lot of energy and devotion for those who were at it. So let me introduce the first team. There are many, so I have to... I'd like to introduce Balcony Climate. Balcony... Woohoo! It's about data capturing. And note the fact that this is data capturing in a distributed way. I won't say more. It's your turn, guys.
Great. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And hello from the Balcony Climate team. We are really happy to participate in the Hack4Climate hackathon. And when we were preparing for the hackathon, we just thought about the challenges that we are facing. So one of those challenges is that there is lack of awareness of importance of the local impact. So when I'm sitting at home, I'm just thinking, hey, do I have to care about it? There are 25,000 participants here at COP. they will sort it out for me. There's another problem, which is lack of basic knowledge. Even if I know that there is 10 milligrams per cubic meter, is it good or not? Is it green or it's alarming value? And another problem is that we see an important issue, and something what blockchain could solve is lack of trust in available data. You have some measurements provided by the authorities, but actually, can I trust them? There were some cases where scientific data was tempered, so we can hopefully help here. And what's our approach, how we want to do that? First of all, we would like to gather together all the experts and enthusiasts who are caring about the climate. Then we would like to provide them with the measurement and monitoring tools so they can see how the values look like. And later on, we would hope to start local communities that share they talk about the problem, they share the awareness, and that the topic will be discussed from mouth to mouth, from neighbor to neighbor, from balcony to balcony. And later on, based on the data that we are collecting, we hope that we'll be able to provide the basis for further projects that could maybe do something on top of that. So what is the architecture of our solution? There are basically two parts of it. First one is the microcomputer that is connected with the sensors, collects the data, and then posts it in the blockchain, which is distributed, let's say distributed database, available globally. And there's another component that is the other part that helps you to visualize, take the data out of blockchain, verify if it was not tempered, and then visualize it. So I don't have to care if it was 10 or 20, if it's good or not. I can see it like traffic lights, and I know if it's good or not. And what is important is this community aspect, where we, of course, would like to bring climate-aware people together, but also in this community share the knowledge about blockchain. So maybe there will be some other projects based on that knowledge to share it, and maybe the knowledge could be transferred to other areas, improving our life in general. Okay, you could ask a question by why blockchain, basically, and we have some simple answers that are relevant for our project. Those features of blockchain that are proof of authenticity. So I can verify if the data wasn't falsified, if the data wasn't tempered. I can really verify who put the data in the blockchain. There is a proof of time, so you can verify when the data was put in the blockchain, and you cannot change it afterwards. You can avoid a situation when someone tries to put massive amount of data later on at a later stage in your database just to try to, just prove their case in the wrong way. And there is also proof of location. That is another feature that could be provided based on blockchain. And I'm not talking here about GPS coordinates, which of course we would like to put into the blockchain together with the measurement data. It's about the web of trust concept, when you have community members verifying authenticity of data of each other, and based on the reputation scheme, you could build the community in such a way that you have these participants confirming the location of the sensors, and in this way you can really trust where it goes, where the data is there, where the sensor were measuring the data. And here shortly about our solution. So we wanted to really achieve something what you could really, not like talking. We just need to move to action. That's why we provided a really working example. There's a microcontroller with the sensors. Of course, you have to have some knowledge about what software to put on it and how to deal with the sensor data. But we managed to do that within those 24 hours. And we also have this visualization, this map. As you can see, luckily in Germany, we are in the green area more or less, probably in Fiji as well. But there are some countries which are less fortunate. So I think the time is to act now. And yeah, we are open for questions. Thank you.
Who has a question from the audience? This is all too complicated for you guys. Come on. So, why is it important to do distributed data capturing? In one sentence, why is it important? Here?
The term distributed means that the data is shared, pretty much. So the data is shared means that everybody can observe the data, and in that instant see what's happening, and also, as we said before, that the data is not being tampered with. So watch and observe and learn from it, pretty much.
Thanks very much. We haven't done that at the beginning. Could you, one word, say who you are and where you come from, and then sit down and the next team would get ready, please?
All right. Okay, I will start. I'm Patrick. I'm from Darmstadt, Germany, and I work with blockchain technology every day in a company called Blockchain Helix. We work with identity.
That's super. Quickly.
So I'm Carlo. I'm from Göttingen in Germany, and I'm just finishing my master's in statistics, and I'm specialized on machine learning.
Thank you, Carlo.
I'm Boris. I run 2 blockchain meetups in Bonn and Darmstadt, and so that's the way we met on the meetup. The community built up, and I'm a blockchain consultant and business developer.
Thank you. Speak up.
Hello, I'm Olga from Darmstadt. I'm IT security master student, and
well, I'm not.
And my name is Krzysztof Sielski. I'm originally from Poland. I live right now in Germany. And I'm an IT consultant, so to say. Yep.
Thank you very much, guys. So, could the team autonomy make themselves ready? So we're now going from distributed data capture solutions to mobility. Also in mobility, we find that things are going distributed. Most importantly, or most obviously, is distributed ownership. We used to all own a car. In the future, we're not going to do that. We're going to share ownership in a distributed way. How this could go, Team Autonomy will tell you right now.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, everyone. We're Team Autonomy. We're really excited to be here. So let's get straight into it. We're Autonomy, and we believe we are the anti-Uber. Now, what does that mean? Well, in 2009, Uber was founded with the goal of connecting car owners with eager commuters, right? And the idea was that commuters would find in Uber a convenient way to get around, and private car owners could make use of that extra space in their cars. This would result in less cars on the road, lower congestion, and a possible path to a carbon-light future. But the reality has not been so peachy. What's happened instead is that many Uber drivers become full-time contractors, and they rent vehicles specifically for Uber. So companies like Uber have caused a net increase of 600 million vehicle miles in cities like New York City, resulting in a 3 to 4% increase in vehicle traffic. It's clear that we need better methods of vehicle deployment, right? We need better methods of vehicle ownership, and we need greater insight into the needs of our population. So what we're proposing is a mobility service that allows existing public transport and private transport to complement each other, right? So I'm talking cars, trains, vans, buses, everything, right? Complementary mobility systems that allow for less vehicles on the road, improve city efficiency, and a decreased carbon footprint. Okay? So that means we're proposing an end-to-end transport platform that allows users to seamlessly transition between private and public transport on the way to their desired destination. Okay, in that vein, we leverage distributed ledger technology, also known as blockchain, to negotiate the tricky payment mechanisms that come in a system with so many stakeholders. Right? Let me show you a quick demo right here. Right, so this was created in the last 24 hours. Here, Deepan books a long-distance trip from Bonn to Frankfurt, and the app recommends that he take a car to the station, a train to Frankfurt, and another car at his destination. Right, he finds a car park nearby, which he proceeds to unlock via the use of tokens. Okay, Deepan's identity is verified over the blockchain, and the car is unlocked securely. Right, he then drives over to Bonn station, where he gets out of the car and simply continues his journey. It's a Tesla, it's very nice. At this point, rental of the car is transferred to another user on the blockchain who can simply get in and drive off. No fuss, no middleman, nothing. Deepan is then free to continue on his journey via train without having to stop and buy a ticket because his trip has already been prepaid all the way at every leg of the journey. Right? So, what that gives us is a really clear audit trail that gives accountability and sort of trust for stakeholders. Okay? Smart contracts on the blockchain allow for seamless payment distribution between multiple entities without middlemen and agency fees. And in fact, users can be charged a small fee every time they take a ride to offset their carbon footprint, right? And in that vein, possibilities then arise for things like short-term insurance, where you can apply insurance to vehicles, drivers, and passengers that go in terms of minutes instead of days, right? So it's not just cars and trains, right? Over time, vehicle commuter movements can be anonymously aggregated, retrieved, and studied. And that gives more data for things like replacing high traffic routes with buses and trains, right? Freight delivery timings. Right? Freight delivery timings can be adjusted to minimize congestion and disruption. So, in essence, a better understanding of city mobility allows the formation of things like caps on vehicle populations, smoother integration of more alternative transport like self-driving cars, and that all fosters a car-light society, which is what we want, right? Current transport systems are relatively wasteful and driven by the need for ever higher profit and market share. Now, we want to provide the world with an integrated and democratized means of transport, and that serves humans in the most efficient way with the least environmental impact. Thank you.
Guys, pass the micro. One sentence who you are. One sentence, please.
Hi, my name is Charles. I'm from Singapore. I'm an autonomous vehicle engineer and a computer science student at SUTD.
Hi, my name is Dipanshu Madan. I'm from San Francisco, California. I work as a mobile app developer there.
Hi, I'm Richard. I'm from Switzerland. I work in the development of computer-aided design software.
Hi, I'm Arvin. I'm from Singapore. I'm a computer science student who does autonomous car vehicle engineering.
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm from Switzerland and I'm a blockchain developer.
Hi, I'm Kunal from India and I'm a software architect.
Thanks, guys. You did a great job with an impressive case. Thanks so much. So, Team Plantlife, please get ready. You're next. We saw that mobility is going to be decentralized and integrated. Now we'll get an example of how on a personal initiative basis, so if you want decentralized climate action, we can go about reforestation. Thanks, guys.
Hi, we're Team Plantlife. This is our team, and two of our members can't actually be here, but I just want to make a quick introduction to say that all five of us come from 3 countries: Brazil, Suriname, and Australia, and deforestation is a problem.
Could you introduce you just while you have this slide? Tell quickly who you are.
Hi,
sorry.
I'm Daniel Jang, and I'm studying computer science at King's.
Diego Amerali from Suriname, and I'm a UI UX designer.
UI is user interface.
Joe Alfredo from Suriname, and I'm a developer in Suriname.
Thanks, guys.
So I want to produce like a bit of a controversial thought. Cutting down trees is okay. As you can see from this infographic, without going into too much details, if you have solar panels or you have clean energy, they actually sort of help reduce emissions. But the thing is, cutting down trees is not so simple. You have to actually cut down trees at a certain delta when the trees no longer help reduce the carbon environment. At that point, it's very good to either plant a new tree or to do something else with that space. But right now, the problem is deforestation happens before that delta is reached. And the problem with cutting down trees is it also kills habitation. Lots of animals, lots of soil erosion, floods happen when this occurs. One of the problems as well from cutting down trees is that in the current market situation, people are cutting down trees simply because it's more profitable to do so. The market is deflationary, and carbon credits are sort of rewarded even if they cut down the tree. This is a big problem, and we hope to address this with our solution. We have a 2-part solution. The first part of our solution is to try to reduce the tragedy of the commons by more calculated environmental first decisions. The way that we envision this is through the blockchain technology. Using the blockchain technology, we believe that we can get environmental organizations that plant trees show that they have done this at the right time. The second part of our solution is to make trees planting fun again. By doing so, we hope to verify that trees are actually being planted and trees are actually being cut when this occurs. How we plan to do so is through a process of gamification. In the blockchain technologies, one of the common problems at the moment is who verifies what and how do you trust the verifiers. We believe we can solve this problem by getting gamers or getting people at the moment who play Niantic games, Pokemon Go, games like that to take the pictures and verify it in this way without any sort of bias or any incentive to cheat the system. Here we have a demo to showcase this. In the first instance, you have the tree planter who plants a tree and installs a code, which they then can verify and put on the blockchain. The second part is the gamer who comes along in 2 or 3 years later when the tree has sort of grown. And they come here for the sake of their own interests to play a mobile game or any other thing. They verify that they are indeed in the location using technology such as what 3 words, and they then take the photo of the tree as well, which could be in the background. So they've contributed to social good and to reducing the problem of deforestation without actually knowing about it. This aspect of gamification is something which we think we can extend to the future. There could be many other things that could be added, such as reducing carbon emissions through cars and so forth, and that contributing to more tree growth. Another thing which we think could be added into the future is building partnerships, such as with AntPay or existing ecosystems that are encouraging tree growth. And to do so, we believe would be very helpful for the climate.
Thank you very much, guys. Hands up for those guys. We've got, we don't do the question, we don't have time now. Please sit down. So we've got 2 more cases to go, and next up is Evoke. So could Team Evoke please come on stage? Evoke is a bit of a special one. It mixes different topics. You could say it's crowd finance, climate finance, mixed up with individual stories. And this mix was really what the jury liked about this one. So Ken, you hit it. Introduce yourself first, and then they know.
Hello everyone, I'm Ken from Fiji.
Hi, I'm Herman Strauss from South Africa. I'm the CTO for a company called Empty Trips.
Hi, I'm Jagdish from India. I run an AI startup based out of New Delhi, India.
Hi, I'm Nicholas from Finland.
Okay, so we're Team Evoke. We've decided to take a different approach to blockchain and how it can be used to tell the climate story. So we want to personalize climate change, basically. We want to personalize it for people that are affected by climate change. We want to personalize it for people in countries like Tuvalu and Kiribati, where they're affected by climate change. So they'll be able to communicate this to the rest of the world and then create action. So we know that humans are responsible for climate change, and it's humans who have the solutions to climate change. So the Evoke app basically brings crowdfunding to a decentralized platform using blockchain technology. We utilize the 2 very important properties of blockchain, which is immutability and transparency. So immutability basically means that the stories that people tell will persist forever on the blockchain. So everyone will have access to those stories. And transparency in being able to crowdfund for the different causes that people have. So we've built a really rough prototype of what the application would do. And basically, people can tell their stories, they can make a video, or use some other medium, log it onto the blockchain, and then that will be available to everyone around the world. Then people from around the world would be able to see these stories, and they could personally take action, and they can use the blockchain to provide funding for different causes. Okay, and all of that is done transparently on the blockchain. And we believe that through Evoke, you'll be able to take personal climate action, and we'd be able to move further, faster together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ken. We won't have time for the questions, so please sit down. So Ken was one of my favorite at this hackathon because I couldn't believe that when we received applications, we actually received an application from Fiji. And then when I heard that Ken was working in the US before and was actually back in Fiji to do a blockchain project with the WWF and with a local fishing company, I thought we're really moving ahead, and it's great stuff that is already taking place. So now we're seeing the winning pitch. So I'd like to welcome the team of Gain4Climate up here. And what these guys have done has really blown away quite a few of the experts that we had, and we had good experts. So I would like to have you guys start with your personal introduction and then do your presentation, and we will then take a few questions for you guys. Huh?
Hello, my name is James Colado. I'm originally from Spain, but I have been living in Dublin for the past 11 years. I'm a software developer and I run my own software development business.
My name is David Dow. I'm a PhD student at ETH Zurich and a machine learning engineer.
Hi, I'm Dominic. I'm working with Bosch in Zurich.
My name is Paul Warren. I studied computer science at Stanford and now work as a data scientist in New York City. We are Gain4Climate. Everything we're about to say is on our website, gain4climate.org. You can see actual demos while you're there. We tackled the problem of deforestation in the Amazon. Our general approach was to make it so anyone in the world could become a caretaker of the Amazon rainforest and was incentivized, financially incentivized, to become a caretaker. Specifically, here's all of the logos of the various places we've worked at. It's a lot. Specifically, we built a blockchain-based payment system to make it so we could transfer money from donors to caretakers in a transparent way, and programmatically to make sure no funny business was going on, that the money would actually go where we said it would going to go. We also decided that just financially incentivizing people is nice, but not enough. We wanted to start building a suite of AI-powered tools to enable these financial stakeholders to become effective caretakers. So over this past weekend, we trained a model, a neural network model, to predict which areas of the Amazon rainforest were at risk of being deforested next. So not just what happened in the past, what's happening right now, but what's happening next. You can see all of our code at GitHub. We're not kidding. It's actually there. You can verify it yourself. I'll keep the problem statement pretty simple. Deforestation is bad. Amazon is good. Deforestation happens in the Amazon, so we want to fix it. The number one reason why trees are cut down in the Amazon is small farmers cutting down trees to make room for their cattle and their crops. The very simple solution is to pay them not to do that. You can pay, there was a study in Uganda, $28 a month was enough to cut deforestation rates in half. The problem with that is scale. You can't go door to door to every single area in the Amazon and say, hey, are these your trees in the backyard? If I pay you, will you not cut them down? That really doesn't scale. So we need to come up with a way that would work automatically. Our key insight was to realize that people who have a financial incentive in the outcome are incentivized to become caretakers. That if somebody puts money on this plot of land, we'll have trees in 3 months. It doesn't matter if they own the land, if they're a squatter, if they're an investor, if they're a government, if they're an NGO, it doesn't matter. The point is, if you're a financial stakeholder, you're incentivized to make sure that land has trees at the end of those months. Here's roughly how it works. This is the blockchain-based payment system. Money from the donors and the stakers come in. We use satellite data to figure out, okay, 3 months have gone by. Are there still trees in here? We call that an oracle. This is roughly how it would go. You would go to the website, you click on an area, you put a certain amount of money on it, and then you wait a couple of months and you see, has deforestation happened or not? So the people where deforestation happened a lot, they lose their money. The people where it happened not a lot, they get more money. So you reward people based on how successful they were, how successful that outcome was for that time period. The satellite imagery analysis stuff we'd use are the standard satellite imagery alert systems, GLAD, Deter, SAD, and Forma. As we were incorporating this data into our system, we realized that we can use this data, as we have 2 machine learning engineers on the team, we can use this data of what happens in the past to predict the future. So we decided to take a crack at that. We managed to get pretty good results. Here's a sketch of the algorithm we used. It's neural networks. It's all the rage. It's why we're calling things artificial intelligence now. This is what the training looks like. You can see these are the alerts over time. This is deforestation. That looks pretty bad. Our goal is to say, okay, this is what's everything we know from the past. What happens tomorrow? Here is some of the technical specs of how we actually did it. The key takeaway is that it actually worked. You can see this is what happened, or this. Okay, we said pretend we didn't know what happened over the past 3 months. This is what actually happened, but the model didn't know that. And then we said this is what we predict will happen over the next 3 months. The model made this up from complete scratch, and you can see like the dots look pretty good, really, really good. And so this is definitely good enough to distribute funds. The point of using this model for our staking system is to incentivize, distribute the money accordingly. So if a particular area is really at risk of deforestation, you pay the people who stake on that more. If it's not really at risk, you don't need to protect it that much, so you reward people less. So you can use this to intelligently distribute funds to make sure that you're actually, the money you get, it's not infinite, and it actually is used well. But of course, these prediction maps, they're not just for staking systems. You can totally use it. Here's another example. This is a little more active so you can see. Here's a spot right here that's in our model, which is not in the data of what's happened in the past 3 months. At first we were worried, oh no, what does, this means our model isn't right. Then we thought these spots right here might be areas of the rainforest which are at risk of deforestation over the next 3 months. So those of you in the audience who do deforestation, like pay attention to these areas, like go send some people there. So this can be used, these data can also be used to target interventions to make sure you guys can triage and use your other resources appropriately. We have a whole ton of things to do. We'd really love to do a pilot project on this and talk with any of you afterwards. We, again, have a website. Here's some pretty pictures of it. And if you want to talk to us, we're hello@gainforest.org. Please come up to us after this. Thank you.
Hands up for those guys. Thank you very much. Very well done. Very well done. So now is the time to ask these guys a few questions. And you can also ask questions like, why have you come here? Or isn't the blockchain a bad thing when it comes to energy use? Or things like that. Yeah, so here we go. Wait.
Yeah, great presentation. So why is it important to use blockchain in this?
Thank you. Awesome question. So the benefit of doing blockchain is everyone has a copy. So it's very easy for everyone to look and make sure there's no funny business going on. This works with the contract as well. You use satellite data that everyone knows and trusts to make sure, okay, this is the condition. If the satellite image that everyone trusts says there's an alert here, then we use that to distribute the money. So if it says, hey, this is the reality, this is the truth. Everyone can look exactly at how things are verified. All the distribution happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. To sign the contract, you press a button on the website. Some stuff takes care of in the back end. You put like, I want to put 10 euros on it. You connect your credit card, or you go to the Amazon, you get people up, hand me cash and I'll register for you. And everything else happens automatically.
Hi, I'm a journalist. I just want to know if it is possible to make your rainforest.org for you make it for Amazonia, and do you think that you can do it for Bassin du Congo, for instance, the forest?
Yes, we could do it for anywhere in the world.
You can do, okay.
Yes, not just for the rainforest.
Okay. I have a second question. When I put money on your location, how the person that live there know that I've put money on their location?
That's optional. Everything is private by default, so you don't know who is betting what. That way, you don't need to know who the donor is. You don't need to know who the staker is, and you don't. But if you want to, yes, you can make it so.
But how they will know that I have put money on them and that I don't want them to cut the trees in this part of the...
That's a wonderful question. So we spent a lot of time thinking about how to de-incentivize bad actors, and we came up with a way, it's a bit technical, but we can hide that as well. So someone who looks at this, everyone has a copy, and they will not know who bet on what plots of land until afterwards when the money is distributed. So we're not affecting the behavior of the bad actors. But very good question.
I mean, those of you who feel kind of lost, read a book on the blockchain or distributed ledger technologies in general over Christmas. I've been saying that a few times over the last couple of months. It's really worth it. There's another question. Yes, please. Mine.
Hi, I'm Juliana. I'm from Brazil. I just would like to know, why did you choose the Amazon?
There were a whole bunch of reasons. Of course, the Amazon is one of the most interesting places in the world. It's really good for, the trees there are really good for scrubbing the carbon. It's also extraordinarily beautiful and biodiverse. I mean, these are all the reasons that you already know. I had a bit of a personal reason. My roommate, in college was Brazilian, so he would talk about the Amazon a lot. And so when I said, okay, let's pick a rainforest, Amazon it was.
Please, there's another question.
Hi. Sorry for this out-of-the-box question, but looking at the composition of the groups that have presented, what do you think should be done to have more females getting interested in IT solutions?
Huge
Good question.
Yeah. I wish I had the answer for you. I have grown a bunch of engineering groups myself and spent a lot of time trying to get more women into space tech and space engineering. I think having a bunch of outreach and making sure that they actually have a voice is really important. The problem is the people who are designing outreach programs are maybe not that diverse themselves, so they don't really know what actually works. The simplest solution I found is go to women who are interested in these spaces and say, what do you wish happened? And then make that happen. That tends to get people pretty excited. If you show them that their wishes are being heard, the world is being changed, that gets anyone excited, particularly women and children.
That's actually an issue we identified this morning in a panel discussion. The good news on the panel discussion was that we actually had, or on the speakers and panel discussion, we had 2 women and 1 guy on the panel this morning. So just to make that clear. On the participants, it's about 80-20. So there's absolutely a need, and we found out during these days the way the teams work that as part of the team grouping, that's a really important aspect, and yeah, we encourage women very, very much to read this book over Christmas as well. So yeah.